got the place rehabbed. Some of them never even got the deed to the property. These people have a lot of properties of their own now in places like Detroit, Michigan, and Cleveland, Ohio, and Indiana, but are paid for free and clear. That's their properties with tenants that are fixed up, but the investors are still sitting there with no rehab, no money back, and big problems. Well, I thought I kind of got through this thing okay because at least I got the deed. The place did get rehabbed. It wasn't as great as I thought, but at least it was good enough to get management. I got my own management. I got tenants in there. That's kind of what it looked like after they did the rehab, so it wasn't too bad. And then we had a little problem that turned into a big problem. There was a bird nest in the chimney flue for the water heater and the gas, the forced air heater. It doesn't burn logs or regular fire, just takes the carbon monoxide vapors out of the house from the basement. The tenant got upset because it wasn't getting changed immediately by the property management, so they called up the city and complained. The city came out to the house and said, "You're the tenant?" "Yeah." "You live here?" "Yeah." "This house has never had the permits that were proper for occupancy. The work hasn't been gone through the city like it's supposed to be. You need to get out of here immediately. Vacate the property now." And they took their time vacating, so the city went back and went to child authority agencies and said, "You take their kids away from them now if they don't get out of the house." So now they had another agency taking the kids away from them unless they got out of the house, and they finally got out pretty quick. So now I'm sitting here with a place that does not have the proper permits. I'm trying to contact Easy Access Funding, and they're not returning phone calls to just about everybody. And I'm telling them, well, it may not be that big a deal. I've got a contractor out in Ohio that's already fixed up one of the properties that you got from one of your investors. Who knows? We could turn a bad thing into a good thing if you guys are willing to work with us. Now the city and the city officials right now are just saying, hey, all we want to do is put these people in jail because they stepped way over their bounds. Nobody got any disclosures of the property. They did all their own title stuff. No permits were done on any of these properties. So the city of Cleveland is like really out to get these people right now. And if we can go through and start cleaning some of these messes up one at a time, maybe they can redeem themselves, but I'll be surprised. So lesson number one, the company tells you they got their own title company, don't go there. Okay? Don't put a lot of money down, leave it in escrow. If we had left the money in escrow, we could have found out some of these things and just said, nope, we're not going there. They got the money and nobody got their money back after they got it. Here's the Zelo of the property. The property is right here. His estimate is $118,000. So here's what's been happening in Ohio. I've got about $25,000 or $30,000 into this property. I really don't want to spend another $25,000 or $30,000 to fix it up, to solve the problems that they should have solved before the deal was done. Now, if it's possible to even get $60,000 or $70,000 for this property, like the $90,000 I'm getting in Oklahoma, then it might be worth me putting the money into it, getting it fixed up, and selling it and trying to break even, and just walk away from it. If I walk away from it, it's going to cost $10,000 for the city of Ohio to demo the property, and guess who's going to have to pay for it? Okay? Big problem. If we demoed it right now, again, it would cost $10,000 to have it demoed. I don't want to spend $10,000 to demo it. And, I could walk away from $30,000 plus $10,000 to demo it. Now I'm $40,000 in the hole. Or if it's not a huge amount to fix it up, let's say it's $25,000 and my total cost are $50,000. If I sell it for $60,000, at least I get my money back. By the time I get through with closing, I'll probably just break even.
Insurance?
What's that?
Insurance?
I got insurance. And the reason I got insurance was because there was a brief window of time that I had tenants. So I had the insurance company get over there immediately and get it insured. Now, once it's insured, usually the insurance companies don't come back, just like the property in Oklahoma. 5 years down the road, they haven't been back looking at 3 layers of roofing and complaining. But if I went to them and said, will you insure a property that's got 3 layers of roofing? And they go, no, why does your property have that? Gee, I don't know, I haven't checked. You can bet they'd be out there next week to check and find out. And go, we're going to cancel it unless you put a new roof on there and rip all that stuff off. So I'm hoping that we can get through this mess, keep the insurance in place, but even if the insurance got canceled, again, going back to the National Real Estate Investors Association, they have different insurance companies that will do insurance while you're in a rehab. So it's not like it's impossible. I've got insurance on the place out in Indiana, and there's nobody in there. It's through one of these type of companies. So you can get insurance. It's possible. It's not easy. Okay? So these are some of the things that you have to deal with when you're dealing with all these rental properties. The person in Ohio that's going to help me get through this mess is Whalen. This is his company, Buy, Hold, Rent. And so they do sell properties, $50,000. They're already rehabbed, in great shape. City's inspected them. Everything's good. The reason I think that this is going to work is because one of the investors that got burned by easy access funding used him to clean up one of her messes. It wasn't too bad. She got it cleaned up. The house is rented now. He got her a tenant. She's happy. The other house that she has is set shed pit. And he looked at it and said it's not even worth repairing. You might as well just have a demo. I don't know what's ultimately going to happen there, but she feels really good about him, the help that he's provided her. So I haven't been there long enough to say it from my own experience, but that's the direction I'm going, and I'll let you know as we move forward. One of the things that he does is he guarantees rent for 6 months. If he sells you a property for $50,000, he's going to pay the rent whether you have a tenant or not for 6 months. He's going to make sure he gets a tenant in there because he's also the property manager. Okay. So that's kind of the avenue, and he's real good with the city. He knows the city people, and they're working together right now to figure this whole mess out on my property. Santa Barbara. Let's talk a little bit about Santa Barbara and the values here. I've got a property off of State Macombra. Right now, the estimate is $766. And look what's been happening since 2005 and 6, where we peaked out of the market. Down, down, down. At one point, it was about 1.2 million. We're down to about 760,000. That's the last place I want to sell. You know, I do not want to sell that place at the bottom of the market. And so if you are going to do this investing in real estate, it does make sense to kind of spread things out. So if you have properties in other states, you can sell those properties off when you need to pull some more cash back in, so you don't have to go out and sell something like this at this point in time. Now, when I purchased it, I got it for about $180,000, and yeah, I could sell it right now for, you know, maybe $700,000. And you can say, well, gee, there's enough profit. How greedy can you be? Why don't you sell it? You know. Well, I do have a plan, and the plan is if I can hold on for 3 to 5 years, whatever it takes for this thing to come back up. If I get up to the point where I can sell it for about $900,000, I can pay off the house I live in right now, be free and clear, and I'm done with that game. Okay? So that's kind of the strategy there. But it gives you an idea, you know, how the market differs in different places throughout the U.S. You know, Oklahoma's got high employment. They've got a booming, you know, economy. Prices are going up.
Yeah, just to add on that, there are places, I mean, all over the country, and I've been looking into this, various market cycles. You know, buyer's market, phase 1, phase 2, seller's market, phase 1, phase 2, and they're not all in sync by any stretch of the imagination. And if you start to learn these, and there are places, I mean, places you never even think about living in Santa Barbara. Oklahoma being one of them.
Right.
And it might even be getting close to too high right now.
That's
So,
exactly what I'm thinking, because as soon as you see this curve start coming back up, what do you think's gonna happen when all the investors go, uh-oh, we've reached the bottom, and now California, Florida, Nevada, and things are starting to pick up? Well, they're gonna quit going to places